Hi, how are you? So, men's psychology versus women's psychology. So, what's the difference between the two when it comes to relationships? So, men, there are two criteria for men, and there are three criteria in case of a woman when it comes to having the relationship with that particular person. So, for men, the first thing in the criteria is physical attractiveness. How good a woman looks, how symmetrical is her face, how good her body is. Now, I know it's a little shallow, but this is how we are born with. This is how we've evolved on this planet. Back when we were cave people, uh, you know, physical attractiveness was number one trait. It's just physical attractiveness because it screams that, okay, this woman is of breeding age, so to speak. So if a woman is young, she's a young adult, and she has a good body, and also she has a very symmetrical good looking face, is number one criteria for a man. But after that comes, so sure, a man looks at a woman, he finds her attractive, and he approaches her. Similar, it's this is again a thing that we have developed. Men approach women, women don't approach men. So man looks at a woman, he finds her attractive, and he approaches to her. Then comes the main thing, the very important thing, more than physical attractiveness, and that is a woman's personality. And for a man, men look for a woman who has feminine qualities. Like, for example, if a woman seems very nice to him, and also she has a very loving nature, caring nature, nurturing nature. These things are very important for a man. These are feminine qualities, and feminine qualities attract man more than anything else. So if a man finds a woman who is all these things that I just described, that's it, and she's physically attractive on top of that, he's going to fall in love with her. That's why men fall in love with women a little faster than women fall in love with men, because as I said, there's one criteria extra for a woman, but not for a man. So men fall in love quickly with a woman if he finds her very attractive, and also she has a great personality, which has a lot of feminine qualities. Now, I'm not saying that all men are the same. No, there might be some men who might like a, a woman who's kind of like a tomboy. And when I say tomboy, that means that particular woman has a lot of masculine qualities in her. But most of the men don't like tomboy women. No, no. Most of the men be like a woman with a lot of feminine qualities because that's what attracts a man to a woman. Just like a woman would not find a guy who has a lot of feminine qualities. He has a very soft voice, or he deals like a 15-year-old girl or something like that. Women don't find that attractive because women find a man who's a masculine quality. Similarly, men find women attractive who has a lot of feminine qualities when it comes to personality. Now, as I said, physical attractiveness comes in the end. It's the initial instigator, but you know, if a woman is all, she can be all attractive, but if her personality is not good, a man is not going to go for it. Sure, he may sleep with her. Depends on the man, what kind of a man he is. He may sleep with her, but he will not want to have a relationship with her. On the contrary, if a woman is average looking but her personality is great, then you know he might look forward to have a relationship with her. So physical attractiveness is the instigator, but it is not the ultimate destination, even in case of a man. It depends on the woman's personality in the end. Now, coming to female psychology, it's pretty much the same for all women as well. Uh, there's one extra trait, though, that a woman looks for in a man. We'll discuss that in the end. But the first two traits remain the same, and that is the physical attractiveness, the initial instigator, and the personality of a man. Now, the physical attractiveness comprises of how obviously good looking the man is, his facial symmetry, how tall he is, how good his body looks, etc., etc. These are the main things. Now, you know, when I say height, there's a misconception all over the internet that okay, all women look for a guy who's 6 feet tall, more than 6 feet tall. Absolutely wrong. because there's a recent study conducted which shows that women find men attractive in the range of 5'8" which is very good news because that's the average height for all men. That's no You can say that that's pretty much the average height for all men of all nationalities. It's around 5'8". But after physical attractiveness comes the personality, of course. Now, as I said before, women don't approach men like men approach women. This is how we are biologically programmed from the process called evolution. So women don't approach men, but they do everything. If they find a guy who's very attractive, she will do everything to get his attention. It's like, hey, I'm here, come talk to me. Sure, she's not going to say that, but she'll do everything she can to get his attention. Like, she will try to look her best in front of him when he's around, when the guy's around. So all these things. So once she gets the guy's attention, and let's say the guy comes over to her and starts speaking to her, that's when she starts kind of, looking into his personality, judging his personality. Now, the main thing for a woman in a man's personality, the first thing is the sense of humor. Can he make her laugh? It's very important for a woman. If a guy can make her laugh, 90% of the guy's job is done to make a woman like him. So, sense of humor. And after that, there's one more thing that women like being, they like the feeling of being protected, like being secure around a guy. So if they get that feeling around a person, now that woman is going to definitely have feelings for that guy. But there's one more trait which is very important, and that's the final trait which a woman looks for, and that is the guy's worth. How worthy is the guy? And when I say worth, it's just plain and simple, it's financial stability. Because in today's world, we humans, we rely on finance. Everything that this shirt that I bought, this pant, this water that I drink, everything, even the water that I drink, everything is bought from money. So how financially stable you are, this is what women looks for in a man. This is one trait. Like, they decide to have a family because now a woman is thinking about a relationship. When a woman thinks about a relationship with a man, she's also thinking about children because she's also thinking about raising a family. So if they have children, can he put both their children? Let's say that she's planning for two children or one children, whatever. But can her future husband, if she's willing to marry him, can he uh, put her kids? Can he provide her kids quality education? Put them in some good quality school and college. Get them a good education. Can he take care of her in case of crisis? Any crisis, financial crisis, health crisis? Is he worthy enough to cover all these expenses? So that is what a woman looks. This is the extra trait that women looks for in a man, not necessarily a man looks for in a woman. For a man, if a girl is attractive and if she has a good personality, that's about it. He's going to fall in love with her, which is why, as I said, men fall in love with women quicker. But women, on the other hand, physical attractiveness and the personality aside, also the worth. How worthy is the man? Now, everything is not like, I'm not saying that a guy has to be a millionaire. No. It's just that uh, they have to provide some kind of security to her, that assurance to her that um, in the case of crisis or normally, she can lead a good life, happy, good life with him. So once she is guaranteed of that, that is when a girl is going to fall in love with the guy. But however, it's not everything, as I said. If a guy has a good worth, he's like insanely rich, he has a Mercedes, he has a bungalow, but he does not have a good sense of humor. She may decide to marry him, but chances are that that woman is not going to be happy in her life, in her personal life. And these are the kind of situation when you hear the cases of infidelity, cheating. This happens both ways with men also. If men finds women very attractive, but her personality is not as good as he presumed to be later on, um, he may end up, because men like feeling, appreciated, and if women don't give him that, there's a good chance that they may fool around. So now that's the bottom line between a man and a woman's psychology. And one thing that you saw, which is very common, was physical attractiveness, which is the initial instigator, and of course, then the personality. And in case of a woman, it's also the man's worth. Now, I know it seems shallow that physical attractiveness is an important trait, but as I said, it's the initial instigator, not the final destination. Because once your personality and your worth, in case of a man, if it outshines his physical attractiveness doesn't really matter for a woman. It's gonna take a, it's like, because, and one more thing, physical attractiveness doesn't mean that it's just what you're born with, what nature gave you. No, it's also in your control. Like, for example, how much do you strive to make yourself good? How much do you groom yourself from clothing? What kind of clothes you wear? How do you smell? How do you carry yourself? How do you walk around? How do you talk with people? All of this comes under physical attractiveness. And they're pretty much sure can be controlled. How you groom yourself is in your control, isn't it? So so to be honest, everything here is in our control most of the time. The physical attractiveness is in our control, the personalities is in our control, and of course, the worth is in a man's control. And similarly for women, the attractiveness and even her personality is in her control, how loving or caring she is. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again later. Goodbye.